April 2nd here, and we're talking some West Virginia football. So, took a look at On 3 Rivals 247 Sports, and last year, West Virginia ranked 49th in recruiting. That was ninth in the Big 12. They also were ranked around 65 in the transfer portal. Of course, they added like 80 new guys to their team, and they're doing something similar this year. But the difference is, and this is why I'm going to start with this, okay? Where are the expectations for the Mountaineers in 2026? I'm talking from like a fan perspective. Obviously, you win 4 games in 2025. You lost the Ohio game. You won some games you didn't expect, but at the end of the day, you're a 4-8 team, and you struggled against the better teams in the Big 12. Okay, but remember, you brought in 80 new guys last year. You had a completely new team. This year is going to look pretty similar to how last year looked in terms of how they're going to structure it. Okay, 49 commits this year. 34 players coming in the transfer portal. Now, I'm not a math guy, but I think 49 plus 34, that's around 80 again. Now, some might say, okay, you're bringing 80 new guys in again. You only won 4 games last year. How is that strategy going to work? Well, I mean, quite frankly, it comes down to the quality of players you brought in, starting with the guys we already know. The Cam Cook pickup. Huge, right? 4-star, best running back statistically in college football last season. You pair him up with an offensive line that is predicted to be improving for next season. Of course, the kid Kevin Brown, you bring him in from high school. You have this kid Bubba Grayson from Jack State, pairing him up with, of course, Rick Trickett and the offensive line. But 80 new guys on the team. The reason why this season should look a lot different is you're ranked 20th. 20th nationally. The Mountaineers are ranked 20th nationally in the portal rankings. Obviously, that's as of today, April 2nd. I wanted to wait, of course, till many of the rosters are finalized. The best players in the transfer portal have found their new home. So this is pretty much a good time to reset and let people have their new expectations for next season. 20th nationally in the portal, 20th nationally in the recruiting class. So you had the 20th best recruiting class. Also, you had the 20th best transfer portal across the country. And that's second in the Big 12. The only team in the Big 12 that had a better portal season than you, was Texas Tech. Now, you want to look at the Big 12 recruiting rankings. So Texas Tech, right, they're a wagon in the Big 12. They're going to be good for a long time, whether you want to say money. The coach they have, I think, is really good. Their program seems to be really well run. So Texas Tech, they're not going to be going away for a long time. They rank number 1 in the Big 12 in recruiting, also number 1 in the transfer portal. West Virginia had 49 commits. They rank 2nd in the Big 12 recruiting rankings, and they rank 5th in the Big 12 transfer portal rankings, only behind Houston, BYU, and Arizona. Here are the top guys that West Virginia picked up from high school. Kevin Brown, of course, 4-star offensive lineman. I believe he was maybe the second best player in the state, maybe the second best offensive lineman in the state of Pennsylvania. So you got him, and you got Matt Sieg. So 2 of pretty much the top 5 players in Pennsylvania you bring in. I've heard a lot of good things about Matt Sieg and Kevin Brown, especially in the first couple practices, especially Kevin Brown. His ability to pretty much what Rich Rod was explaining during his last press conference was the biggest improvement he has seen is guys on the defensive line, offensive line, their ability to kind of change positions and be versatile. So last year, dealing with a lot of injuries from the team, it's hard to get enough quality guys ready to play at the Power 4 level at a position they're not used to playing. So what Rich Rod was saying, and I'm going to play it in a second, he talked about the biggest improvement he's seen during the spring. And it didn't come from the quarterback room. It didn't really come from the running back room. No, it came from the trenches, an area that West Virginia struggled in last season. Maybe injuries, maybe inexperience. But regardless, with Rick Trickett coming in, these really good offensive line transfers and recruits. Here's head coach Rich Rodriguez talking about the biggest improvement he's seen during the spring.
Not so many, not wide receiver to DB. It's offense on the front, a little bit on defensive line, the front on the offensive line, different guys. And Coach Trick has always done that, is finding guys that multiple positions. Like, well, it's Nick Cray, Landon Livingston, Bubba Grayson, Cam Griffin, even Kevin Brown, Malik Agbo. Just about every one of those guys are going to be able to, where he's training in multiple positions. And to me, that's probably been the biggest progress we've made so far. Is we weren't able to do that last year. It was the first year for everybody. This spring, Trick's done a good job of moving some guys around and trying for us to try to find our best, 8 to 10 there.
So you have the guy you want in command of the offensive line room, and Rick Trickett, proven winner in that department, knows what he's doing. Of course, Rich Rodriguez has a lot of familiarity with how Trickett runs his system. Talking about a guy like Kevin Brown, this guy could be someone that we look up, and he's made some of the biggest improvements from that offensive line room. We saw what he did in the weight room over, I think it was a couple weeks ago, him basically lifting a sedan weight, probably 600 pounds or something. So this kid's strong. The kid Bubba Grayson from Jack State that transferred in, he's an important guy too, because you get a guy who's already played in the system for his offensive line coach. I think that makes it easier for everyone else. He knows what to expect. He can be kind of a second coach in some regard, knowing what Trickett expects and knowing, how to go about his business on the offensive line. Top signees, like I mentioned, the 3 4-stars, the Kevin Brown, Matt Sieg, and running back Amari Latimer. Amari Latimer and Cam Cook could be dangerous in the backfield next season, but where does it start? The offensive line, right? I mean, I think every team in the country is looking to have 5 guys solid on the offensive line they trust. West Virginia might not have a complete idea at who those guys are right now, but you're starting to see and you're starting to hear from head coach Rodriguez, players, Trickett himself, this is the group that's improving the fastest. That is a great sign. Last year, I think the offensive line was one of the slowest in improving. Now, that could be due to a lot of different factors, guys getting hurt, new guys coming in, not knowing what to do or what to be expected. This is why I think the expectations should be high for West Virginia. And I know they were high last year with Coach Rod coming in. They should be high this year. Not even in a sense of if they don't hit this ambiguous number win mark you shouldn't be happy. No, I think you should be looking at these little things in terms of program building. You build a program from the inside out. You can't build a program from the outside in. Last year, and I'll give an example, a guy like Kevin Brown, a guy like Bubba Grayson, Cam Cook, these guys who are going to help you in the trenches are way more valuable right now than a guy like Cam Vaughn. A Mercedes-Benz compared to a pickup truck is how I would put it. So, all from me here on a quick edition. Just want to give you guys some hype, honestly. I heard a lot of good things from head coach Rich Rodriguez. We're going to continue to talk about him, the Mountaineers, football, baseball, and basketball all year long. So stay right here on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and drop a like. And also comment what you think the Mountaineers need to do next season to improve in your opinion. All from me here, I'm Cam Murray.